In LA this week,
yet another accusation of patient dumping at this hospital in Sun Valley, and it will cost them a lot. $1 million. I'm Gil Reyes with the story next.
Building a better Hollywood. I'm Anna Marcos, and we'll have more on the Hollywood Economic Development Summit coming up.
I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, how one councilman is stepping up to make Los Angeles a more business-friendly city.
hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. Well, the fate of 40 years of transportation projects will soon be in the hands of LA voters. Metro's latest tax plan is headed to the ballot, and as Gil Reyes reports, San Fernando Valley leaders tell us why we should support it.
Will it pass or will it fail? The ultimate decision will come down to us.
A new enormous plan for transit for LA County.
After months of talking about it, the Metro Board has given the green light to place its new transportation tax plan on the November ballot. It calls for a half-cent sales tax increase with no end date and would fund around 40 transportation projects over 4 decades. Improvements to rail, bus, roads, and more.
This will be transformative for the Valley. It was for the first time, as Supervisor Sheila Kuehl said, the Valley will be getting its fair share and much deserved money for transportation.
Sherman Oaks Councilman David Rue agrees that the Valley got gypped during the last transportation tax, Measure R, which passed in 2008. The Valley makes up nearly 1/4 of LA County's tax base, but received just 5% of funding from that tax. Local leaders assure people in Northridge, Van Nuys, and Encino that this won't happen again.
This measure takes care of all of the highest priorities of the San Fernando Valley. It invests in every portion of the valley. It does it in an expedited way. This is just going to be a game-changing investment in the future for the people of the San Fernando Valley.
Projects just in the 818 would include a new rail line along Van Nuys Boulevard between Sherman Oaks and Sylmar, grade separation on the Orange Line to speed up bus service, and eventual conversion of the Orange Line into light rail, a busway from North Hollywood to Pasadena, and the plan getting the most attention, a rail tunnel through the Sepulveda Pass, linking the valley to the west side. It's billed as an alternative to the traffic-choked 405 freeway.
All of the talk here doesn't mean anything unless the people see the wisdom of it and they decide to vote for this in November.
Passage would require a 2/3 vote from us, the voters of Los Angeles. I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
If the tax is approved, 2 cents for every dollar spent in LA County would fund the improvements. Well, the LA City Attorney's Office continues to hold accountable hospitals that they accuse of patient dumping. One facility has agreed to a $1 million payout to settle the latest disturbing case. Gil Reyes has more from Sun Valley. Gil.
Yes, Yana, it is the largest settlement agreed upon by a local hospital accused of patient dumping ever since City Attorney Mike Fuhr took office 3 years ago. And it is this facility, Pacifica Hospital in Sun Valley, accused of not following standard protocols. As LA's homeless population surges, so have alleged incidents of patient dumping. That's when hospitals improperly discharge patients, oftentimes leaving them on the streets to fend for themselves.
Of course, there are challenges that hospitals confront in grappling with homeless patients. No question. But we also know that there are basic protocols that they can and should put in place.
Pacifica Hospital of Sun Valley has agreed to pay a $1 million settlement in this latest case. Authorities say the hospital discharged Casey Lucius, a patient with a history of homelessness and mental illness, in March, and instructed her taxi to take her to this nursing facility in the Mid-City area, but she never checked in. The CHP found Lucius wandering area streets 3 days later.
That is not enough. That is not enough for any of our relatives. It wouldn't be enough for your mother or your father or your brother or your sister. You would not feel that was adequate. And it's certainly not enough for someone who is homeless on the street with no place else to turn.
City Attorney Mike Fuhr says Pacifica's mistakes included not receiving confirmation from the nursing home of the patient's arrival or her reservations. Pacifica has dealt with the city attorney's office before. 2 years ago, it paid a $500,000 settlement in another alleged patient dumping case. In Sun Valley, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Part of that 2014 settlement required Pacifica to adopt discharge rules for homeless patients, rules allegedly broken in this latest case. Well, the Hollywood Economic Development Summit has a long tradition in Tinseltown. For 22 years, it has helped guide the city's economic growth. Anna Marcos takes us to the yearly event at the ArcLight.
The tower cranes are everywhere, signs of a vibrant, bustling, growing Hollywood. And the Hollywood Development Economic Summit is meeting to make sure it grows smarter while preserving Tinseltown's unique flavor.
How is Hollywood evolving as a place to live, work, and visit, and what are the opportunities being created as a result?
Hollywood is a tourist destination, a place where many come to live, work, and play.
I'm very, very pleased with what's going on. I love seeing all the new retail, all the people that are moving into the area, just becoming a much more livable and workable business community.
And Hollywood continues to grow. For example, Netflix is about to move its headquarters here to this new building, the Icon Building, bringing with it close to 1,000 employees.
So a lot of the business that's connected with Netflix will end up coming into our building that's close by.
Film production is very much on.
A year ago, we got AB 1839 passed in Sacramento, and that has made a huge difference in keeping production here. All of our stages in Hollywood are operating at full capacity. That hasn't happened in years.
Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell spoke about updating Hollywood's community plan to help guide development in the future. And he announced his new Open for Business initiative, a set of 6 measures to cut red tape and help small businesses grow in Hollywood and LA.
Our small businesses employ 3/4 of all Angelenos, and we aren't necessarily in the culture of supporting them. And it harms entrepreneurs, it harms the local economy, and it costs jobs.
One panel focused on innovative building design, while another featured the hospitality industry. But the big takeaway for many here was that smart, responsible, and innovative growth will help Hollywood star continue to shine bright. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The summit featured 13 speakers and 2 panels. Well, in addition to the transportation tax, another city measure to battle homelessness is also headed to the November ballot. As Gil Reyes reports, LA city leaders are weighing their options.
The LA City Council has chosen their property tax plan for the November ballot to battle homelessness.
I'm in favor of a bond. Me personally, I would support a bond.
Councilman Jose Huizar got his wish. City residents will be considering a $1.2 billion housing bond this fall. If voters pass it, it would equal higher property taxes to build permanent supportive housing for the homeless, like these apartments managed by the Skid Row Housing Trust. The LA City Council had also considered a parcel tax to put before voters, but sent it back to committee. That action meant missing the deadline for submission, effectively killing the parcel tax plan.
There's different pros and cons to the bond and to the parcel tax. There's part of me that's inclined to the parcel tax because I like the flexibility. I like being able to use it to pay for storage facilities and other things. The bond, however, I'll be honest, I think has a greater chance of passage.
The $1.2 billion housing bond would be issued over 10 years. This is the City of LA's initiative and would be based on a property's assessed value. But can Angelenos afford it?
That's really the questions that I think the other 10 members of the council are going to be grappling with, and as well as other leadership in the city of Los Angeles.
We would like better coordination for a regional strategy, but we can only do what we can do, and we are doing that today.
Meantime, over at LA County, Governor Brown has ignored efforts to put a millionaire's tax on the ballot to pay for homeless services. With funding limited, the number of unsheltered people in LA County has grown. 47,000 at last count, the majority living within LA city limits. City leaders say the sooner they ask citizens for help, the better.
So if there is a time, that time is now, and we just want to make sure that we're in a position to ask this question of the voters.
In Skid Row, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Well, after years of bureaucratic rules and procedures, one councilman is acting as the voice for small businesses to make sure they're being heard. Rasha Goel explains. Rasha.
Yana, I'm here at Troy Familia, a small-owned business in Silver Lake, where many other business owners have come together as they celebrate the move being led by City Councilman Mitch O'Farrell, who is stepping up to help cut the red tape when it comes to owning and operating a business in the city of Los Angeles.
We almost started crying. We were so happy. This is something that we all need.
John Shook, owner of Troy Familia and 5 other businesses in Los Angeles, is all too familiar with the frustrations encountered when starting and running a business in Los Angeles.
I have 5 liquor licenses. I go to apply for a liquor license. It's like it's the first time I've ever applied. And it's like, it shouldn't be like that. I've already done my eye scan. You know, all the data about me is in their system. But it's like they don't coincide that like, hey, I'm a good operator and I have all these restaurants that I opened.
Councilman Mitch O'Farrell is spearheading the Open for Business initiative to address small business owners' concerns. He wants to make changes in many areas, including amending permit fees and creating an expedited process to renew permits. This policy aims to help small business owners open and stay open.
So many times we'll have a business ready to open, but the Department of Water and Power can't get there for 3 weeks, so you just have to chill for 3 weeks. And that's revenue, and that's tax revenue for the city as well, not to mention employees being, put to the sidelines for 3 weeks.
For small businesses, owners say it's important that the city recognize there is a difference between big corporations and small companies.
They've spent their life's money to invest into a business, and it's at high risk. Should it be a high risk? No. There's a way to do this right.
It took me 16 months to open my restaurant. That held up my landlord, it held up jobs, it held up the community from improving, and held up me. A lot of people don't make it that far.
The hope is, with these changes, business owners can open their doors that much faster. In Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
O'Farrell says the permitting process is one of the biggest hurdles for small businesses when it comes to opening their doors. Well, how do you give parolees a fighting chance in rebuilding their lives after prison? Well, Mayor Eric Garcetti's solution, ban the box. Anna Marcos explains as she takes us to the Higher Education Summit at USC.
Each year, more than 45,000 inmates get paroled in LA County, but most quickly find roadblocks when seeking jobs or a college degree. The first hurdle, the box in most applications that asks if you have a criminal background. Mayor Eric Garcetti says the box disqualifies many eligible applicants who have served their time. And with few options, many go back to what they know, crime.
You want a lower crime rate? If you want a more thriving economy, we have to solve this problem.
Garcetti made a move at this higher education summit to ban the box. He has asked universities, businesses, and the city of LA to drop it from their applications.
And we've done this in my own office. I have folks with criminal convictions who work for me today. I'm not asking you to do something I'm not doing myself.
The Higher Education Summit also held panels and workshops on ways to open up education to those with a criminal history. Some campuses are already doing that.
We know that in our construction programs, roughly 35% of our students have been previously incarcerated.
As a teenager, Michael Griggs got caught up in the justice system, but he managed to put himself through college and get a job in spite of huge obstacles.
If a person with a criminal background, if he pursues education and gets to the university level, then why should he be discriminated and not being able to be accepted into college?
The mayor says 65% of parolees go back to crime and return to prison, while only 6% of those who get an education turn back to crime. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Garcetti has also launched an Office of Reentry for those on parole and probation, and he has signed an agreement with Caltrans to provide former parolees with highway cleaning jobs. Well, NetZero, it's a term you may not have heard before, but it's about to become a lot more familiar. Rich Samuels explains.
Up until now, summer in the city has meant burning natural resources. That air conditioner might keep us cool, but it causes emissions that makes the world hotter.
When we turn on the air conditioning in California, we often feel a little guilty, don't we? We wonder what coal plant, we wonder what natural gas plant is being fired up when we face a hot day, and we realize that the emissions caused by us trying to get cooler continue to compound the problem of getting things hotter. Well, here today, we guilt-free can enjoy this air conditioning and see a vision of what it looks like in our future, where we can do what we need to do to stay cool, to connect our communities, to have a strong economy, and do it guilt-free.
The mayor was on hand recently to help dedicate the NetZero Plus Electrical Training Institute. 1,500 apprentice and journeyman electricians and contractors will learn their craft here each year. Their state-of-the-art training is all about building for the future.
And what's so amazing about the future is because the future is today. Because California often is America before America is itself. And it is recalibrating a new economy of tomorrow.
That tomorrow is about net zero, creating energy-efficient buildings that have zero net energy consumption. Thanks to a union contractor partnership, not only will students learn to create sustainable systems, they will be working in a net zero building.
This facility here today is a showcase for the rest of the nation as well as the world.
The 144,000 square foot Net Zero Plus Training Institute, the plus because it creates more energy than it uses, isn't housed in a new building. It's been through a $15.5 million retrofit. It's a clear demonstration of what's possible.
For anybody who says in my home or my business, I can't do that, come here and learn how. And guess what? You'll save some money too.
From the City of Commerce, this is Rich Samuels for LA This Week.
The city is working on its first Net Plus building at a gymnasium in Studio City. While interacting with the LAPD just got a lot easier, a city exhibit highlights the work being done by the Department of Public Works, and a new pathway bridges the gap between the Orange Line and San Fernando Valley residents. All these stories in Citybeat. The Los Angeles Police Department West Bureau unveiled its inaugural Koban at the Grove Shopping Center. The Koban is a small box or booth that is staffed with police and reserve officers that promotes small community-based policing. Angelenos can file police reports, get crime information, and more. Officials say the Koban will help create a more intimate setting where the police and community can interact.
Look at how it looks. It's very friendly, it's community-centric, it's not imposing. It's an opportunity for families to come up with especially with their children, to meet the men and women of our police department and get to know them on a personal basis.
It's just the perfect way to get community and law enforcement working together the right way.
The City of Los Angeles' Department of Public Works joined municipalities across the nation recently to celebrate National Public Works Week, which recognizes and highlights the important work done by public works professionals. This year's theme was Public Works Always There. As part of the celebration, an exhibit called A Gallery of LA Infrastructure was displayed at the Board of Public Works offices, showcasing photos and renderings of major facilities and services, as well as ongoing or recently completed public works projects.
It's important to me that we're finding ways to communicate about what we're doing, so that we continue to really make an effort to earn the trust of the public.
Metro officials joined LA City Council member Bob Blumenfield and the Warner Center Association for a ribbon cutting of the new pedestrian station entrance at the Canoga Metro Orange Line station in the San Fernando Valley. The entrance, complete with lighting, landscaping, tap vending machine, and canopy, directly connects several Canoga Park apartment complexes and businesses to the Orange Line service.
It saves passengers from this rapidly growing area walking a large amount of distance so they can walk directly to the station.
Today's a great example of local government working for the people.
Through a national and local collaboration, a summer project is helping empower children living in public housing developments build a viable, stable future. Rasha Goel files this report.
The project is like stereotypes, like Watts, like, you know, the hood and stuff. So for them to come to us and help us get jobs and tell us about college and believe in us and tell us that we can do it, I think is really good.
Angel Lopez is among the 100 high school students participating in the first Summer Opportunity Project workshop hosted by the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles and Kids Progress, Inc. The event, which helps with summer jobs, was held at USC.
It's not just employment opportunities for our youth, but it's good work habit skills, it's getting them on career paths, on educational paths, it's financial literacy training, it's a whole series of learning skills.
Los Angeles is one of the cities selected to participate in the Summer Opportunity Project, an initiative created by President Barack Obama to provide first jobs to youth and aid in the efforts to reduce what's called the opportunity gap. Providing summer opportunities to youth have shown successful outcomes in helping divert youth from participating in criminal activities and violence while exposing them to their first experiences in the workforce.
I think many of you perhaps have already have a job right now or in the process of looking for a job, but an ultimate goal is to actually help you get on a pathway to a career.
Officials say that young people that work during high school are 7 times more likely to succeed in education and lifetime earnings. And here at this seminar, officials are also encouraging students and letting them know that $1 million is an attainable goal.
I think it provides great opportunities for kids that live in housings and just kids that in other instances wouldn't have an opportunity to work.
An opportunity for hope and a brighter future. From USC, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Earlier this year, Mayor Eric Garcetti announced a new goal to hire 15,000 young people through Hire LA's Youth, a program that aims to get jobs for low-income youth between 14 and 24 years old. Well, fire stations across the city opened their firehouse doors recently for Fire Service Recognition Day, a chance for the community and especially kids to meet and connect with our hero firefighters. Rich Samuels has more.
1, 2, 3.
You just might be looking at a future firefighter. It's Fire Service Recognition Day across Los Angeles, and families are learning just how the department works, while the department does some early recruitment.
And I think about my first fire service day. I was about 6 or 7 years old. My dad took me to Terminal Island, old fire station 40, and I saw the firefighters put out small fires with extinguishers, and I thought then, that looks like a fun job.
Each of the city's 106 fire stations is part of its surrounding community. Recognition Day events, including pancake breakfasts and this especially kid-friendly meet and greet, bring the community and the Los Angeles Fire Department together.
And I really thank the community for coming out and supporting, and thank you for bringing your families, because it's about respecting those who risk their lives every day to work for us and make sure that we're protected.
We are part of the community, and we want them to know we're here for you in case you ever need some help.
The LAFD Museum at Fire Station 27 was also part of the event, providing a sense of history and a sense of remembrance of those firefighters who gave their lives for the city. From Hollywood, this is Rich Samuels for LA This Week.
Fire Service Recognition Day has been a Los Angeles tradition for 60 years. Well, in honor of LGBT Pride Month, community members and city leaders gathered recently in Council District 6 to promote peace and unity. Rasha Goel takes us there.
It's also in recognition of the fact that our numbers are growing and that resources are important in this area. And in light of Orlando, it just gives us an opportunity to come together and support one another.
Councilwoman Yuri Martinez recently hosted a national LGBT Pride Month resource fair, panel discussion, and film screening at Van Nuys City Hall to help spread the message of tolerance and unity.
One of the biggest things that we can do for our young families is learning about one another and teaching them tolerance and acceptance of everyone, regardless of where they come from.
Attendees had the chance to catch a screening of the film Vito, based on an LGBT activist from the early 90s who passed away from HIV at a time when so many people were getting infected and dying of the disease.
LGBT people are parts of our family, they're our friends, and
They just, we just want to have respect in our communities and be safe.
And for attendees, this city-sponsored event creates a sense of connection between the government and the LGBT community.
It really allows all of us, certainly in the LGBT community, to kind of feel interactive with our own government and to feel that the more that we normalize with other people in the community, the more people realize we're just like everybody else.
We're not just in West Hollywood. We live in the Valley, we live in the East Side, the South Side, and it's important to know that we belong here, and it's important to share resources for the community.
Resources that will help foster understanding and growth amongst a diverse community. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Well, get ready to experience the culture of the Republic of Korea, picnic under the stars during an outdoor concert, and get swept away with the words of Shakespeare by the sea. All these in this week's Things to Do. The Lotus Festival returns, and this year the host country is the Republic of Korea. The lotus flower is significant to the Asian culture as a symbol of rebirth, purity, and life. The event is held in July when the lotus plant blooms. Echo Park Lake was selected as the site for the event due to its central location of local Asian and Pacific Islander communities, and because it hosts the largest lotus bed in the United States. The festival includes food, live music, ethnic dances, and a variety of performers representing the people and cultures of Asian and the Pacific Islands. The event takes place July 9th and 10th at Echo Park. For more, visit laparks.org. Summer's all about free outdoor concerts, and here's one more. Sound and Focus, in collaboration with the Annenberg Space for Photography, offers a month of free outdoor concerts perfect for all ages. Headliners include Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. The concerts will be on the lawn at Century Park, right next to the Annenberg Space for Photography. Attendees can also take a tour of Skylight Studios or picnic on the lawn. The next concert takes place on Saturday, July 9th at 2000 Avenue of the Stars. For more information, visit annenbergphotospace.org. Shakespeare by the Sea presents Othello, an emotionally gripping thriller where gossip turns friendships rancid and rumor brutally murders innocence. Othello is perfect for audiences seeking quality family entertainment. Shakespeare by the Sea's free performances can't be beat. Pack a picnic, a blanket, and beach chair, gather loved ones, and settle in under the stars for a night of classic entertainment at Point Fermin Park, located at 807 West Paseo del Mar in San Pedro. For more information, visit shakespearebythesea.org. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.